Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good afternoon. Welcome to the sixth session of Clean Expo and FESIMAX webinar series entitled Changing Landscape of Cleaning. Today's special topic are New Normal. First of all, on behalf of ARCHIDEX, Clean Expo and FESIMAX and MACC, I would like to thank everyone watching on ARCHIDEX Online, ARCHIDEX Facebook or YouTube channel for taking the time to be us today. Ladies and gentlemen, in light of the currently imposed Conditional Movement Control Order (CMCO) and over concern of our exhibitors, visitors and partners, ARCHIDEX Special Edition 2020 has been rescheduled to 2021. ARCHIDEX Clean Expo and FESIMAX 2021 will now be held from 7 to 10 July next year at the Kuala Lumpur Convention Centre, Malaysia. The organizer will be contacting you soonest regarding your participation in Clean Expo and FESIMAX 2021 on any inquiries that you may have. We thank you for your support and look forward to be more lucrative next year. With us today, we have two panelists who will cover how successful cleaning and facility management companies are adapting to the new normal and what are industry players looking for in working with cleaners and facility managers. Discover how to derive your cleaning and maintenance business in the new normal for your business success. Our first panelists are Mr. Yap Lim Seng, Chief Executive Officer of Malaysian Association of Hotel MHH, and our second speaker today panelists are Raj Kumar Mahfuz, Mr. Raj Kumar Mahfuz, Chief Technology Officer of Cleaning Innovation Center Sdn Bhd, CIC Sdn Bhd. I, Faizal Rahim Moiduni, Vice President of Malaysian Association of Cleaning Contractors, MACC, the moderator for this session. Ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to post any question in the live chat that we will address them at the end of the webinar. We do apologize in advance if we are unable to address all your questions. Without further ado, let's bring our first panelist. Good afternoon, Mr. Yap.
Good afternoon, Tuan Haji.
Good afternoon. First and foremost, we thank Malaysian Association Hotels for agreeing to be the supporting association to Clean Expo and FESIMAX. We are indeed looking forward for a successful collaboration. Let's move on to the first round of questions. As a CEO of Malaysian Association of Hotel, representing the hotelier in Malaysia, what has changed in the hospitality industry pertaining to cleaning and how different it is from it before, especially after the pandemic hit? Over to you, Mr. Yap.
Thank you, Tuan Haji. While the hospitality industry had always worked within various SOPs, including cleaning, the pandemic has actually forced the industry to take not only additional steps, particularly on sanitization and also disinfection, but also on the frequency of cleaning and sanitization. Similar to the business events segment, the hospitality industry has an advantage where its people are already well trained in day-to-day cleaning and sanitization, while the current inclusion of additional steps and requirements is seen as an added assurance to guests and associates alike. But having said that, there is now a need to better document, record, and publicize such efforts. The value of initiatives and efforts are now judged by how well it is communicated to its employees, guests, and also the public. It is crucial for the industry to capitalize and build its very own clean and safe reputation. Under tremendous pressure from the pandemic, the hotel industry is currently planning ahead and getting ready for tourism recovery. Initiatives and efforts such as the Clean Expo and FESIMAX plays an important role for the industry stakeholders to explore opportunities, as well as for the government to monitor and support stakeholders adopting necessary standards towards a cleaner, safer ecosystem and for the well-being of guests, general public, and industry players alike. Thank you, Tuan Haji.
Thank you, Mr. Yap. Once again, I've been told that MH members have more than 1,000 hotels related organization, that's your members, whereas the depending on tourism authorities in Malaysia for promoting holidays and destination, where the new normal implementation is very, very important. Okay, thank you, Mr. Yaps. Um, so let's bring on our second panelist. Assalamualaikum, Mr. Raj.
Waalaikumsalam, Tuan Haji.
Okay, Mr. Raj, I straight to the question. Okay,
Okay.
Mr. Raj, as a representative of organization that focus on the digitalization of cleaning services industry since 2017, what is the meaning of definition of new normal in the cleaning industry? Over to you, Mr. Raj.
Thank you for the great question, Tuan Haji. Thanks to COVID-19, but no thank you. It is undeniable that this pandemic is considered as one of the pushing factor for various perspectives, especially for cleaning industry. We have heard for a very long time of various challenges that our industry has to face. But as we know, the progress is almost not improving yet. And it seems as the challenges are getting tougher, if not worse. The new normal is not necessarily something which is totally new. For me, there is a lot of science involved in cleaning services industry. In our country, especially, people tend to think and treat cleaning services as the lowest priority, and it's very synonym to what they call it 3D, dirty, difficult, and dangerous. However, this is amongst one of the industry that many people join purely for commercial purposes, where they think cleaning is just about sweeping and mopping, i.e. A surface cleaning instead of deep cleaning. Unfortunately, this is the current normal for cleaning services industry. Without the right competency, contractors tend to offer whether very expensive or unreasonably cheaper contract values for services rendered. It is considered normal among industry players, where the cheaper price is always selected by the client. This is achievable only by manipulating a certain component of the cleaning services process. In the long run, this will promote more leakages and raise more issues in the credibility of cleaning services management, which is now considered normal. Hence, to sum up, the current new normal is merely practice to mitigate normal practice, which has been carried out by various authentic cleaning contractors. In order to ensure quality, I believe Malaysia Association of Cleaning Contractors has developed various cleaning standards, but it is only voluntary and not enforced. There should be enforcement in this aspect. Perhaps when awarding tenders or selecting cleaning contractors, the awarding company should ascertain the quality of cleaning contractor by demanding for MSCC membership certificate, and also the adaptation of cleaning standard that were developed. I hope this short and simple explanation can give the audience an idea on what is new normal today for cleaning contractors. That's all from me, Tuan Haji. Back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Raj. Thank you also to promoting MACC.
No problem.
Okay then, I think one of the point that touched by Mr. Raj is because the low price normally be looking up by the by the tenderer to get the lowest contractors. So the quality will be deteriorated, and then suggestion from Mr. Raj to award the company that certain quality in cleaning contractor and demanding they must have a certificate as a members from MACC. That's a good idea. Thank you to Mr. Raj. And one of the priority touching on the new normal informed by Mr. Raj is cleaning service is very synonym with the dirty, difficult, and dangerous job. However, for the new normal cleaning practices, still right competency. They need a more competent workers by training and education. So thank you, Mr. Rush, and I'm going to second question to Mr. Yap. Hi, Mr. Yap.
Hi.
Okay, Mr. Yap, as a hotelier, you as a hotelier itself, in your own personal opinion, and in further enhancing the effectiveness and efficiency of deep cleaning today, how does technology help in facility and hospitality property management? Over to you, Mr. Yap.
Thank you, Tuan Haji. I think on the topic of technology adoption, particularly in the hotel and also property management segment, we often mistaken technology as a replacement for human expertise. We always thought having technology means that we have to use less manpower, but that is not the case for the service industry especially. It is meant to enhance processes and improve efficiency given the right intervention of an actual person, especially in our industry where we are called the human industry. Service is everywhere. Every process revolves around human interaction. In facilities management specifically, technology is helping managers and owners with needed vital information, and it provides solutions and also effective monitoring in a timely manner for them to make proper and right decisions. Technology is also helping hotels in delivering customer satisfaction at all times with a personal touch of an actual person, and at the same time minimizing the human error factor. Technology adoption, however, must not be left stagnant. We must be always open to innovation and improvements, and we must be able to catch up with technology. And this will ensure consistent quality in providing the best possible service for our guests. That is for our human and our service industry. Back to you, Tuan Haji.
Thank you, Mr. Yap. So, regard to the technology and explained by Mr. Yap just now, one of the key point addressed is we often mistakenly that technology is as a replacement for human expertise, but actually technology is enhanced to the process. Correct, Mr. Yap? Okay,
Yeah.
and then thank you, Mr. Yap, for the. So I hope the new normal, beside the technology that we use, we also enhance the skill for the workers on the technology skills. Thank you. Moving to our second panelist, again to Mr. Raj. Hi, Mr. Raj.
Hi.
Okay, as seen across the world, there are more involvement from the cleaning and facility management custodians as the frontliners in ensuring the sanitization of public spaces. Thus, how to ensure that that is new normal that is must for a cleaning industry across all public and commercial spaces. Over to you, Mr. Raj.
Thank you for the very relevant question, Tuan Haji. This new normal must properly start before it is too late. We must ensure everyone that is involved in cleaning industry is competent enough to ensure the sanitization of all spaces toward ensuring their business sustainability. There is various challenges that every custodian can start with. As we all know, the challenges in management of cleaning services remain the same everywhere in the world, but the focus can be varied for each custodian. The most important thing is every leader in an organization, whether it is from contractors, building management, association, and even government, we must realize the importance of adopting to the so-called new normal, actually across all industries. Empowering our people with essential knowledge for effective management of cleaning services is a must, and with the help of available technologies, it will ensure management of cleaning services are more efficient and effective. The new normal method of cleaning and maintenance will need upskilling or reskilling of our resources. The cleaning industry should be promoted as one of the career selection for people with passion. This new normal should now focus on upgrading cleaning as a professional career. It will become a culture for societal development. We cannot deny that a developing country like Malaysia is full of public and commercial spaces that definitely requires competency or competent people to provide quality cleaning services. To achieve this, instead of expanding the businesses with more manpower or just machinery, it is vital to incorporate effective and efficient cleaning operational management using a software or an enabler. This is big data and Internet of Things. That's all from me, Tuan Haji. Back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Raj. I can conclude that for new normal, Mr. Raj mentioned just now about upskilling and reskilling. On top of that, this is some of government initiative taken through the HRDF and SOCSO, where the program for upskilling and reskilling been called as a Penjana program, Penjana Kerjaya. Okay, thank you, Mr. Raj, for your kindly input and answered the question. So let us move for the third round. Let's bring on our first panelist once more. Hi, Mr. Yap again.
Hi.
Okay, Mr. Yap, for the third question, Mr. Yap, I understand that you are very much involved in Department of Standard Malaysia working group for developing the standard MS2610 tourism and related services, and also are currently working on a few other standards. I believe this is timely given the fear of travel during the pandemic. Toward this direction, what step and initiative are the hoteliers taking additionally to prepare for the recovery of the tourism industry in 2021? I mean next year. Okay, Mr. over to you.
Good question, Tuan Haji. Since the beginning of the pandemic, we dated back to about end of January, and then moving into the MCO in March, the industry reacted swiftly in adapting to current needs. And the Malaysian Association of Hotels, MA, we played an important role in engagements with the government and in setting SOPs and guidelines as well as standards. So back in July 2020, MA introduced and we launched the Clean and Safe Malaysia Hygiene and Safety Label for hotels. This certification program takes into consideration base regulatory requirements of the Ministry of Health, enhance it with the best practices from major hotel brands and also other countries for a comprehensive hygiene and safety guideline. We further improve it by appointing an independent professional assessor and certification firm to audit the hotels based on these guidelines for highest level of compliance and at the same time provide end-to-end solution in monitoring and execution of the program. We work exclusively with Bureau Veritas Malaysia, a global independent auditor with presence in more than 140 countries, to deliver consistent and uniform certification to every participating hotels across Malaysia. To date, as of today, we have 120 hotels on the program, out of which 60 are already fully certified, and this information is live and available online for the public. Every hotel certified will be given an exclusive sticker that they can paste on their entrance of the hotels, and it comes with a QR code that is directed to the website to show our guests and the public what is this certification is about. And with all the various standards that the tourism industry of Malaysia had adopted, we can safely promote Cuti Malaysia again to everyone, to all Malaysians, and we can explore our beloved country blessed with various interesting attractions and destinations again. That's all from me, Tuan Haji.
Thank you once again, Mr. Yap. I think since July, as mentioned by Mr. just now, since July 2020, MA introduced a Clean and Safe Malaysian Hygiene and Safety Label for hotels. This is something new that I just know. And MAH also worked with Bureau Veritas Malaysia, BVM, Global Independent Auditors, as to date 118 hotels on the programs, and 48 to 60 are fully certified. It's a good achievement from the Malaysian hoteliers. Thank you, Ms. Yap. Thank you for your info. We move back to our second panelist today. Hi again, Mr. Raj.
Hi, Tuan Haji.
Okay. Mr. Raj, many cleaning contractors and facility management companies are somewhat struggling to adapt to the new normal, while their businesses have taken a huge blow in terms of their clientele reducing and scope of professionalism cleaning services. In your own words, what is the requirement for industry players to adopt and sustain in the new normal of cleaning? Over to you, Sia.
Thank you for the interesting question, Tuan Haji. First and foremost, one of the main guiding principle of a business owner is that not giving up attitude. Perseverance is a must, but a guided strategy is also needed. I believe with the right guidance, adoption of technology in cleaning services industry and building maintenance must be the utmost priority instead of just a mere option or the lowest focus area. There is so much in common area that cleaning services contractor and building management can focus on to make their traditional business and fully digitalize them. Surely, as mentioned earlier, there needs to be enforcement and proper adoption of SOPs and standard toward ensuring the cleaning and maintenance process is adhered to well as safe for everyone. This is where best practices is needed, such as adoption of standards, automation, big data, and also information technology. Regardless of the size of any organization, it is a must to start incorporating technology for your business's future expansion toward becoming professional, profitable, and efficient. Based on our experience, I believe CICSB can help you and your team to achieve this. We have been working very closely with Malaysia Association of Cleaning Contractor and its members for almost 4 years. We have tested our specialty in information technology, Internet of Things, at various industry, and we believe the requirements are not really different for the cleaning industry. We advise industry player to improve on its requirement of competency in stages instead of all in one go concept. This will help in mitigating investment costs as well as encourage long-term sustainability. The most important thing is to start at a higher level of management before we proceed to the lower level. The idea here is that the focus on competency requirement should become a must, and it should become a guiding principle in every organization. We can always determine which portfolio or department that require the most digitalization based on pressing current issue, such as the pandemic in your organization. Maybe this will be the best place to start with. We have to face the fact the pandemic is not going anywhere in the near future. We can see this is an opportunity or a setback. Additionally, there will always be viruses and bacteria. It just cannot be seen by naked eye. So my advice is start now for better future with us, CICSB. That's all from me, Tuan Haji. Back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Raj. The ending, start with CICs. I like it. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Thank you very much once again, Mr. Raj. Some conclusion that I interested today from Mr. Raj is how to implement new normal in new technology. So some highlight from Mr. Raj we have to include as one of the best practice adoption of standard, automation, big data, Internet of Things, IoT, and then to be blend and synchronized in the new normal. Thank you very much, Mr. Raj, once again. Okay, everyone. Indeed, Malaysian Association Cleaning Contractor (MACC) is currently working on establishing the Malaysia Cleaning Council (MCC) that will indeed gather and players of the industry, government, public, and also the operators of public spaces together towards ensuring high standard in sanitation and hygiene in Malaysia and potentially the region. We will be talking about this and more during MACC's Focus Forum at ARCHIDEX 2021 on July 7, 2021 at Kuala Lumpur Convention Centre. Ladies and gentlemen, we have heard the experiences shared by our panelists on what are the opportunities available in the crucial era. In this time, it is time for us to hear from our viewer who may need clarification or even suggestion with regard to the issues discussed by our panel of speakers. Let's bring all our panelists once again while I go through the questions. Hi, we're all in the same page now. Okay, we can see one
Okay.
more. Okay, then. Okay, I think I have two questions. One is prepared for you, both of you. Before we go to the question from public, I start with Mr. Yap. Question for Mr. Yap. As a hotelier yourself, what is your advice to the current and future tourism industry player? Also, what do you think will be the future of behavior of tourists in the next 2 years until 2022?
Thank you, Tuan Haji. I think if we look back at the pandemic and even before the pandemic, the industry needs to change. Change is always happening, and we need to diversify what we are doing, especially in the tourism business. When the pandemic hit us, we realized that rooms revenue is the only thing that we are depending on, and it's not sustainable in that sense. So in between the pandemic and what is happening now during the recovery, we look at hotels diversifying their products and services and branching out to different types of services that they can offer to the general public. And looking at the trends now, we will see more demand on all-inclusive information and as well as services from the hotels. There are opportunities for hotels to provide more in terms of in-room entertainment and also bringing product, services, attractions to the guests instead of having the guests going out of the hotel to acquire experiences. I think hotels can and will improve further in that sense to provide more out of the hotel experiences in the hotel itself or in the room itself, and that will actually define the tourism and the hotel industry for the next 4 to 5 years maybe. Thank you, Tuan Haji.
Thank you for your feedback, Mr. Yap. Maybe Mr. Raj want to add something from the same question, especially on tourism matters.
Not this time.
Okay,
After this.
Okay. So I have some figure that come to my mind because now people already come to near we getting the new vaccines. This is a good news especially for the tourism industry and hotelier. But definitely we have to look into maybe 1 or 2 years. That's why I asking you until 2022. So Mr. Yap, maybe this vaccine can they give some impact on the industry itself?
I think just briefly what happened to the industry during the pandemic. When it first started, I think that we were the worst duration was actually during the MCO. When MCO started on the 18th of March, the hotel occupancy dropped to about 5%. But after reopening and of domestic tourism in June, I think on 10th of June, where the government allowed interstate travel and domestic tourism, we slowly recovered a little bit. And at the weekend of Merdeka Day, hotel occupancy reached a peak of 42%. But at a compromise of hotel rates, hotel room rates has dropped between 30 to 70%. And it stabilized in the month of September at about 39% of occupancy. But reaching the month of October, when the COVID-19 cases spiked since the spike in Sabah, occupancy dropped to about 34% and then 30% and then down to 22%. The week before this, we were looking at only 18%. So we are almost back to square one, and business is badly affected again. So the industry needs a lifeline and needs more support from the government.
Thank you, Mr. Watt, once again And then I have another question for, sorry, we have move on, second question to Mr. Raj. Being an industry player that is familiar with the cleaning industry, what do you foresee on the feasibility and future trend of the cleaning and maintenance industry in the next 2 years?
Oh, tough question. I try to answer, Tuan Haji.
So tough.
Thank you.
Yeah.
To respond to the question, I will answer based on our specialty, which is management of cleaning services or on business improvement process. As I said earlier, this COVID-19 pandemic actually is a pushing factor for all of us to the world is to reset or to start right again. We have to start now. Pandemic to subside. This is the time that we must reanalyze what we have done wrong actually for all this while, and look for the right platform to prepare mitigation procedure. As simple as upskilling, reskilling, or maybe this time we read the right books. CICSB as a service provider, and we are as well as Malaysia Association contractor members. We are willing to work together with cleaning industry community, improve management of cleaning services. I hope by the year 2022 we start right. That's my I think my response to this question, Tuan Haji. Back to you, Tuan Haji.
Thank you, Mr. Raj. I think you're lagging, quite lagging, but no, it's okay. So I have a question from Facebook here. The question from Mr. Wong Yi Kong. How many percent of facility management adopt the MS standard and demand contract cleaning to follow such standard? So any of you can give some feedback?
If you allow me to just add a little bit on this, I'm
Please.
involved in a couple of standards development with Standards Malaysia. The problem with our standards in Malaysia is that it's all voluntary. It's not compulsory for industry players or stakeholders or companies or contractors or vendors. At many levels, some are compulsory because of regulatory requirements, but most are actually on a voluntary basis. So we do not see much adoption, practical adoption on the ground. I think that's something that the industry should improve on. I think Mr. Raj will have more to feedback on this.
Thank you, Mr. Yap. Actually, I'm agree with you. This nowadays is voluntary. There's no enforcement on this. So if Mr. Wong Yi Kong asks about how many percentage, I cannot say that. And I believe that's why CICSB is here. We have to find it out. As I said before, we have to reset. Whatever happened before pandemic is I can say for us as from CICSB, we will not looking back. We are looking forward, and so that is for us. And we plan to go to every industry player, whether it's contractors, whether it's a building management, whether it's a facility management, or even government. We can work together with Malaysia Association of Cleaning Contractor. Actually, this is our task. Why MSCC here? Why we are here is this is our task to make people informed that we have such standard, that this standard is protecting us as a whole, as a community, as a industry player. So I hope this is the right time. This is the pushing factor for us from industry player. I think that's from me, Mr. Faisal. I think maybe as all veteran people. Maybe Tuan Haji also can add some more.
Yeah,
Perhaps I think there's one thing that we can do as an industry group, as associations. Maybe we can lobby to the government to provide some incentive to companies that are taking up the standards. At the moment, it's lacking. You're spending a lot of money, spending a lot of effort to get into the standards, but there's actually no incentive. There's no value back to you. I think we should lobby to the government to provide some sort of incentive, and this should be the right time to do it.
Yeah, thank you both of you. I think the suggestion from Mr. Yap to enforce, we can't enforce this one because the standard actually, I'm partly involved in Malaysian standard 2550 for cleaning services commercial buildings. So as you mentioned just now, I agree with Mr. Yap. This is no enforcement, but it's just anyone can be adopted. So that there is no percentage that we don't have that record, because this is free. Whoever wants to use, where to establish the standard, they can go on. So same goes as discussed. MACC are involving and promoting the standard. We also highlight this matter to Ministry of Finance and the related ministry. I think it's answered what the question came from Mr. Wong Yi Kong. I move to a second question that from another question from Facebook from Mr. Sunan Kudus. How adopting technology can improve the cleaning quality, but in the same time, contractor can give a competitive price to the client? It's very very, I think it's quite difficult to answer, but I think definitely both of you can answer this. We can start from Mr. Yap.
Very tricky question. I will probably respond on the user side, because we are hotels being on the user, we employ contractors and cleaning vendors coming in. One of the problem in the industry is, especially at times like this when the economy is not as good as before, we will always look at the cost of the contract, and the winning contractor will always be the cheaper one. And like it or not, it's because of economic factors, economic burden and financial burden. There are really no options. But I think contractors need to look into how they can create value with technology, and not just about the pricing, but add value to it.
Yeah, thank you. Any feedback from Mr. Raj?
From me, I think this question is something like the audience that asked is look at the ideal situation. It's very perfect situation, but we know I think in reality this is not the ideal or the realistic world, because we have various challenges actually to achieve this ideal scenario. So we need everybody participation from industry player, from all the community. We have to work together, and if possible, I hope we can start from the government side to show as an example to the private sector. So for I mean, this ideal situation is, I cannot answer 100% perfect, and so we need your collaboration, every party. I mean, I hope that will give some idea to the Sunan Kudus.
Thank you, Mr. Raj. Okay, I have some answer to Mr. Sunan Kudus. It's a very good question actually. The question is, adopting technology, can we give a competitive price to the client? So my answer is yes. As long the contract will be given in a longer term, you see. Normally a cleaning contract will be given for 1 year, maximum 2 years. So if you give 1 or 2 years contract, they can't enforce the technology, advanced technology, because the technology is very expensive. But if they give a contract minimum, for example, 5 years or 7 years or more than that, I think the price will be competitive, because the depreciation will be lesser the come to the following years. Okay, thank you for Mr. Kunan. And then coming another question from Mr. Wong. I think the same person. Question directly to Mr. Raj Kumar. This is question from Facebook. Does the CIC program include fleet and asset management for various brands? What are the improvement we can get from this area?
Okay. Short answer, yes. It's included, yes. Improvement is when we talk about digitalization is very wide answer. Of course, we can get improvement, and based on the available data. Let's say before this, you do things in the manual way, or in the unstructured way. Using an application, actually you can do it smoothly. Using technology.
Yeah.
So the improvement, I believe, is a lot. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Raj. I can the further inquiry we can. Mr. Wong can contact CIC directly. Okay.
Yes.
And then, okay. We have another question again from Mr. Sunan Kudus. Okay, thank you, Mr. Sunan. Again, the question goes to Mr. Raj. Mentioned that on IoT and big data, how effective this data analysis can improve contractor performance and client perspective? I'm sure Mr. Raj got the answer.
Okay. So the time will be not enough for me to explain this question, but I'll try to give a short answer. Maybe if Mr. Yap and Tuan Haji as well, you can add. Actually, this is a big word, and when we say IoT or big data, of course, based on our experience in cleaning industry with MACC, with the industry player, actually, I think in Malaysia this is kind of something is new to the client, because before this, maybe if you at the client perspective, reports is hard copy, and report is hard copy. How you going to do analysis using hard copy? I think that is very short example lah. So with technology, with the big data, with the IoT, actually, we can provide or we can promote more meaningful reporting technique that can be useful for contractor and client, whether to measure the performance or the leakages or the quality. I hope that will answer Mr. Sunan Kudus.
My personal opinion is Malaysia, whether in any other industry in Malaysia itself, I think we are quite slow in terms of IoT and big data adoption. And every day that we are behind in terms of big data collection, we are falling further behind as well. Big data needs to be there in a very advanced stage, and perhaps MACC as an association should have a centralized database where you can utilize and process and manage this data that all your members can use and actually adopt it into their own operations. I think MACC can play a very important role here.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you both of you for the answer. I have another question from Facebook again, from Alice Tan. Again, the question to Mr. Raj. Is it possible to get more info about your product?
The answer, yes. The answer straightly, yes, Miss Alice Tan. Yes, definitely.
50% discount.
Oh, sure, no problem. We can talk about it. Please, yes, I think for Miss Alice Tan, they can go to our Facebook or Instagram. So just send us a message. So we'll contact you. Okay, thank you, Tuan Haji. Sorry.
Okay, no worry. I think Alice Tan or whoever online today, they can get any information about either MAH or CIC. They can contact the ARCHIDEX. We are live now. On top of that, they also can search their website. I think they can go to MACC itself, CIC or MAH. Okay.
Don't go to the wrong MACC though.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
it's not an SPRM. It's not an SPRM. Okay. Okay, another we have another question from Facebook. It came from Mr. Muhammad Hidir. Ini Dato, Dato Hidir. His question to Mr. Yap. Hotel management and cleaning industry has many standards available. In your opinion, can the cleaning scope can be outsourced 100% and let them prove themselves the capability toward the standard? Okay,
Well,
Mr.
as a hotelier and hotel management, I will say no. We do not, and we will not, and we should not outsource the entire cleaning contract. It's a very tricky business in the hotel because apart from maintaining cleaning standards, we actually maintain a lot of other service standards along with it. So we need to look at the situation holistically. We need to manage the hotel management and the operations holistically from top to bottom and not just looking at cleaning. Even if you come with the best cleaning standard, it may not even fit into the requirement of the hotels. And different hotel brands have different requirements, different standards, and different service that needs to be provided alongside. Communication, for example, is one of the very important factor. We can have cleaners, we can have vendors that supplies cleaning, but can they communicate with our guests? Can they provide answers and replies to our guests when they are in-house or when they're in the hotel? And even as simple as somebody who's cleaning the toilet may encounter a guest in the hotel or in the toilet itself that can be asking a lot of different things, including what are the other products and services in the hotel. So it needs to be looked at not just a cleaning standard, but looking at a service standard as well.
Thank you. Any additional supporting from Mr. Raj? Maybe if Dato Hidir asks, is it possible for cleaning contractor to be engaged in hotel cleaning services? But advice from opinion from Mr. Yap is no. But maybe if they can, that means it's opportunity to CIC also. Okay, but any
not 100%, not 100% lah. I mean, the question I'm agree with Mr. Yap. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Any other question, Siraj? Any other thing that you want to add? No. Okay. I think there is no question from our live today. No more question. So maybe I have another question to Mr. Yap. Since you are one of the, I can call expert in having a standard with Standard Malaysia, maybe one day is it possible to have some collaboration working with MACC, especially to enhance the cleaning standard for our country, especially in new era of pandemic, and then of course we have to work together in ARCHIDEX next year. So
yeah, I think we should. I think we should work together closely, and we set this as a starting point where we can communicate further. We can actually set more items and more action plans in the pipeline. MACC, you are, despite just being cleaning, you are in the service industry. We are in the same segment, and there are lots more that we can do together.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yap, for your answer. To Mr. Raj, I think you already share your email address. Thank you for it in the chat, private chat. So I think later maybe if they have any contact, I think we can enhance our invitation and our more input to be gathered to next year 7 to 10 July in Kuala Lumpur Convention Center for ARCHIDEX and Clean Expo. Okay, I think there is no question. Maybe I have to do some summary about it. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to thank everyone for the question and for staying with us until the end of the webinar and our panel of speakers who have invested their time with us for this session today. The new normal is just beginning, but it's already in the, not only in Malaysia, but in the world. And we hope everyone need to put a support to flatten the curve. Okay. Before we end the session, let me leave with you this thought to ponder on. We are indeed going through tough time. However, we must be proactive and adopt to new ways of doing businesses for lucrative in 2021 and above. Thus, I invite you to explore ARCHIDEX Online for the pre-exhibition engagement and Clean Expo and FESIMAC in 2021, where you can first showcase your business as a having survived the 2022 pre, during, and post exhibitions. Secondly, network with the potential leaders online and build up hype towards the exhibition in 2021. Thirdly, successfully generate leads for the 2021 economic rebound. God willing, may we meet again at our next webinar series. For more information, please visit www.archidex.com.my or follow our social media to be the forefront of your industry now. At the end, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Thank you until we meet all of you again at Clean Expo and FESIMAC from 7 to 10 July 2021 at Kuala Lumpur Convention Center, Malaysia. Stay home, stay safe, and let's once again flatten the curve, free from COVID. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Assalamualaikum. Bye bye. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Bye.